Michael Gomez, and I'm a real estate broker and an investor here in Nashville, Tennessee.
And I'm Seth Mosley, Grammy Award-winning songwriter and real estate investor.
We host a monthly meetup in Middle Tennessee for anyone who wants to build passive income, not only for retirement, but for today.
On the first Wednesday of every month, we bring in an expert from every area of investing to help you with things like finding deals, getting your financing locked in, asset protection, every kind of investing, so much more.
Our videos are all about delivering that content to you.
Go to musicandmoneyig.com for more info on our free monthly events. Hit subscribe on the page so you don't miss any awesome content, and hit that like button if you like it.
Don't let all the flair of my jacket distract you.
Here's the content.
So one of the things that applies across any medium is this phrase, and it is conversions happen in conversations. So a lot of people think they just put stuff on social media and immediately someone's going to want to do business. No, but the way that we do business with somebody is getting them into a conversation. Getting them onto an email list is a way of having a conversation with them. Getting them to reply to one of your posts through the direct message then allows you to have a conversation with them, move them to a phone call, move them to an in-person meeting, move them to a showing of a house. Whatever it is, it really requires that conversation. And what I'm going to teach you is how to get more conversations through all social medias, but particularly Instagram. One thing that I discovered when I first started using Instagram in 2017, when I had 0 followers, was that the best thing to do if I want to grow a following is to go and study other people who had a following in my industry. So I went to people's pages like Tony Robbins, like this guy, Dean Graziosi, and I went, okay, they got hundreds of thousands of followers, in Tony's case, millions. What are they posting? What are they posting? And so when people come into me and say, Craig, what should I post on my page? I say, look at the people who are very successful in your industry, and then go and model it. So I went to Dean's page and I was like, okay, if his average post gets 2,000 likes, let's look for the things that got 3,000, 4,000 likes, and then I'll make my own version for my page. And what I quickly realized is that every post that got a lot of likes, comments, and engagement and shares and led to me growing my following followed what I call the VPS formula. And that stands for valuable. So every post that you make should be valuable, it should be purposeful, and it should be shareable. All right. So when we go through the audits of my page, Seth's page, and Michael's page, we're gonna look at it and you just go immediately, is it valuable, purposeful, or shareable? Is it valuable, purposeful, or shareable? And if it is not at least 2 of those 3 things, you shouldn't post it on your Instagram. So that Chipotle bowl that you had last night, not valuable, not purposeful, not shareable. And what I mean is that valuable to the end user? When they go through the post, like if I look at it, right, I'm scrolling through my feed, most people are on the toilet in the morning, scrolling through their feed. Are they going to stop at your burrito bowl from Chipotle? No, because it's of no value to them. And also, is it purposeful? Does it move people towards doing business with you? And if it doesn't, then why bother? Because I use this phrase, I don't use social media, I use business media. Instagram is my NBC. YouTube is my ABC. Facebook is my Fox. And then what else do I got? I got, I got CBS and I got CNN. I own these channels. That's how I look at this stuff. And so I push content out, but when you see my profile, you notice I follow 9 people on Instagram. I have this code. If anybody causes me stress or anxiety, I immediately unfollow them. I only follow people on social media who will teach me something valuable. And if they don't, I'm not going to follow them. I'm not going to follow them because they follow me. I'm here to be ruthless with my time and use Instagram as a broadcast medium to push my valuable, purposeful, shareable content out that moves people towards doing business with me. That's how I look at these social medias. Another great phrase is use social media, but don't let social media be used on you. And unfortunately, it's being used on a lot of people these days to get them fired up, to get, and again, it's not your fault if you find yourself spending a lot of time on social media, because the way that I explain it to people is every single day, 1,000 PhDs from MIT wake up in Silicon Valley and go to work, and their main job is to get you addicted to your phone. So if you're addicted to your phone, it's because you're trying to fight 1,000 PhDs every single day, and you're not going to win. So that's why I don't follow people. I got to change the rules of using my phone and using social media. I use social media, but I don't let it be used on me. I don't follow a lot of people. Therefore, I don't get all fired up. I don't get lost in their content. I go in, I go out, and I get back to work. We actually have a formula, or I look at it as a content factory for creating content across multiple platforms. And I'll share a little bit more about that in a second. I had this video that I put up on my Instagram page the other day, got nearly 20,000 views, which is 4 times as many views as normal. And it was how to create 30 days worth of content in 3 hours. And I'll walk you through that in a moment. But first, I want to explain how Instagram is like a Louis Vuitton store. So imagine you're in New York City, you're walking down Fifth Avenue, there's Trump Towers, there's, all these nice stores on the side, and there's the Louis Vuitton store. And you're walking by the Louis Vuitton store, and you can't help but look in the window because they have some outrageous thing that catches your eye. And the analogy there is that your main feed needs to be like the window of a Louis Vuitton store. It needs to catch your attention, manufacture some celebrity, and elevate status, okay? So you've probably come across a picture of some guy in a fancy car on Instagram, and you're like, I hate those posts. Now, okay, but why do I keep on seeing those posts? And the answer is because they work, okay? They get people's attention. You in a fancy car, it's symbolism, right? And it conveys that it's like peacocking, right? The peacock struts around with its colorful feathers up. Well, why does the peacock do that? The peacock does it because it works. And so don't hate the player, hate the game sort of thing. I'm not saying go post fancy car pictures, but I'm saying make sure that your stuff fits that valuable, purposeful, shareable, catches people's attention, and elevates your status in their eyes. And I'll walk you through how to do that tactfully in subtle ways so that you will then capture the attention of your marketplace, your niche market, the people that you want to follow you, and you attract them, and then you can have great conversations. Thing is, it doesn't end there. So walking by a Louis Vuitton store and looking in their window does nothing for Louis Vuitton. Louis Vuitton does that to get you go into the store where transactions happen. Now, transactions, that's like saying the conversions happen in conversations. The transactions of a store happen inside the store. Very much like the conversations in Instagram happen usually within the stories. So if you're familiar with Instagram, I'll get to my page in a second, but the red dots at the top means that somebody has created content inside an Instagram story. And if you can get somebody to watch an Instagram story, you're probably getting about, at best, 30% of people will view an Instagram story. So if you have 10,000 followers and you get 3,000 people watching a story, that's actually pretty high. I mean, I have 100,000 followers, and there's days where I don't even get 3,000 people watching stories. But those thousands of people that do go into your stories, those people are like opting in. Right? They're really interested. They're clicking on the red dot, like what's inside here? What's behind the scenes? And that's where you can really let your guard down and tell great stories. That's why they're called stories. In the same way that I used email marketing back in the day, I had a great subject line. I told a little personal story. I taught people something, and then I had a call to action. And that's how I use Instagram stories. I'll do a minute or a minute and a half video. I'll catch their attention with something like, hey, do you know what the correlation, do you know what, let me try that again. Do you know the most important thing that a hot dog vendor needs to have in order to be successful? And people be like, well, I don't know. What is the answer to this? I'll tell you that in a second. But first, let me explain how this relates to your business. And then I'll go in and teach it, and then I'll end. And so if you're creating content and you're creating the right content, but for the wrong audience, and you try to sell them, you're never going to have results. But if you have a starving crowd that just desires your information, your call to action doesn't have to be perfect. Your sales page doesn't have to look beautiful. You just have a starving crowd ready for your information. And that's why you'll be able to sell a lot. So the most important thing to the hot dog vendor and to you and your business is having a starving crowd. It doesn't matter about the bun, how good the hot dog looks. What matters is you have what they want and they're starving for it. All right, so if that was helpful, just imagine what I can do for you in my 3-hour course that shows you how to write great copy or whatever. I'm just making that up. I don't have a course on that. So you tie it in. So you have that little story in there, and that's where the transactions tend to happen in Instagram. Now, I'm going to explain how you can use this as a real estate agent or as an investor or even a songwriter can use this stuff to get more people into their world. For example, I have a friend who lives down near Seth. Her name's Christina Cimarelli. They have a very large following on YouTube, and I tell her how to use this type of stuff to sell more of their merchandise and get more streams of their songs through using the Instagram system. So I want to show you now the Kardashian family. The Kardashian family is someone who's used this MC plus ES formula very well. What does MC and ES stand for? Well, it stands for manufacturing celebrity, which, 20 years ago, probably nobody had heard of the Kardashians. The Kardashian name is from a very successful, I think he Kris Kardashian, her husband, made all his money in like shipping tankers or something. So most people wouldn't know the name Kardashian until she manufactured celebrity for the daughters and elevated their status in the world through the reality show. So what I want you to understand about almost every celebrity is that it is manufactured. If you take a look at my origin story, I am a farm boy from southwestern Ontario. My parents combined probably never made more than $50,000. Well, yeah, probably never more than $50,000 in a year combined household income. We weren't dirt poor, but we didn't have a lot of money. I wore hand-me-down clothes. I went to school with patches on my pants, really embarrassed. And yet today I have over 100,000 followers on Instagram, which isn't 100 million followers on Instagram, but it's still, I have manufactured the celebrity out of thin air. How did I do it? Well, I created a fitness program and learned how to write sales copy that sold the program. I was one of the first fitness experts on YouTube. I have a YouTube video that's been watched 6.5 million times. Who am I? I'm just, at my heart, I'm just a poor, broke, struggling farm boy from Canada, but I manufactured celebrity. So everybody can manufacture celebrity in their industry in order to go and succeed. So, at one time I had 70,000 followers. Today I have 130-some thousand followers, and, single digits in the number of people I follow. So Instagram works by creating valuable, purposeful, shareable content. I just want to go through this and so make a couple of distinctions in these slides. So up in the top left, if you take a look at your own Instagram account while I'm taking you through this, kind of the check marks that I want you to have if in your Instagram is what I call, first of all, have your 7-figure photo. If you have, as this company has, a logo, well, Instagram is a very personal social media. All right. I don't want to do business with a logo. So if I'm looking for a real estate agent and I've got either Carrie Schul or the Adam Olsen team, which I will short form as, according to their logo, the A-hole team. It looks like an A-hole, right? So it's an A and a hole. So it's the A-hole team for short here. So if I'm choosing between Carrie Schul and the A-hole team, well, why on earth would I pick the A-hole team? Now, what else does Carrie have here that makes me want to do business with her? She's got her photo. She looks nice and friendly. She's a $1 billion realtor. Whoa, that sounds pretty exciting. She's a speaker and a coach. So obviously, if I was wanted to find a realtor, I really wouldn't care about that. But the mom of 3 is kind of helpful. And then she actually uses this page to get real estate agents to her event. So that last line is more pertinent to the agent than it is to a person like me who wants to buy a home from her. Now we go to the a-hole team, and we continue to see a lot of mistakes. So right immediately they have hashtag Houston real estate. That's a clickable thing. So I might just click on Houston. I'm like, why? Oh, I'll click on Houston, the hashtag. And then they also have at houses. Well, that's not their profile. And so again, if I am a person who wants to buy a home and I'm thinking about choosing Adam Olson and the a-hole team here, I show up on this Instagram profile. I might click away and go to Houston, the hashtag. So that's sending me away from his profile. I'll never come back. At houses partner. Joe Blow, the house buyer, has no idea what at houses partner means. Why? So putting that there, again, drives traffic away. Then ranked #1 RE pro on social media. I don't care how well you rank on social media. I want to know, are you the real estate expert to sell me a home, a family home in Sugar Land, Texas? Are you that person? If you're not that person, I'm out of here. Then see all properties here. I don't want to look at all properties. I want to know if you have family homes in Sugar Land. So I think they really dropped the ball here. Now, from here, I just want to say, the only people worse than real estate agents on Instagram are personal trainers, which is my background, so I can say that. But if you take a look at this guy's post, so Brett Carroll, realtor, in some states you have to put your license up, I believe, and he's got his contact info there, but he has nothing there that separates him from everybody else in the industry, right? There's no credibility. Great, you're a realtor at Coldwell Banker. Well, so are 40,000 other people in America or something, or maybe 3,000, 4,000. You're a realtor. You're like the average realtor that I could trip over if I walked down to the 7-Eleven. So he's got nothing going for him here. Plus, you go look at his posts, and his posts are about, French fries, which are interesting, but not to a person who wants to buy a home. So he's really dropped the ball here. There's no value, there's no purpose, there's nothing to share on his page, which is why he follows more people than he has followers. So these are some not to do things.
Hey, Michael, I found out about a way that you can store cash long-term in a place that's not a bank, that protects you from creditors and that grows tax-free so you can have massive wealth for your retirement. Does that sound interesting to you?
It does. You mean like besides a bank in Switzerland?
Besides a bank in Switzerland.
Yes.
And I want to introduce you to my friend,
Tom Lonnie.
Well, you already know him. We know him because
Tom's
he's
awesome.
a sponsor of the Nashville Investors Podcast and helps our investors put their money in a safe place long-term and to be able to reinvest it in assets just like real estate and many things that you're already investing in. So
I love it.
Check him out at stressfreeplanning.com, and he will teach you the bulletproof wealth concept. That's Tom Lonnie at stressfreeplanning.com.
All right, so I'm actually going to head out of this, stop that share, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna flip over and start going through what's working in Instagram today in my business. All right, so I'm gonna go to my desktop and hold on here. Do you see my Instagram right now, Seth, or is it still on my desktop?
I've got your Instagram pulled up right here. Is everybody else seeing it okay out there?
Yeah, you should see my Instagram profile. So if you just drop a quick yes in the chat, it'd be super helpful there. Okay, great. Kathy says she sees it. Perfect. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through all this stuff that we do on my page. And I've tested a lot of this stuff out. So if you look at my profile, where you could have hundreds, if not thousands of people going to your profile every week. I mean, Seth has over 10,000 people. You could probably look on your, if you're on your phone, Seth, and you go to your profile, it should show you how many people have visited your profile page in the last 7 days. I know they used to show that stat, and I think they still show it. but it'll tell you. And if you have even 100 people showing up on your profile every week, no matter what industry you're in, whether you're a personal trainer or whether you're a real estate agent or you're an investor or you're a guy like me who coaches people, you want to make sure you're using the real estate properly. So for me, I want to get credibility. I want next actions to be very specific, and I want to give people a reason to do things. So I have my 7-figure photo. This is me on stage. You can kind of see that says best-selling author. So people show up here and they go, okay, this guy looks, serious enough for a Canadian, I suppose. So I pass all the tests. I'm a trustworthy Canadian in a suit. How can you go wrong? Then I say mentor to millionaires. Now, what I found is that for a long time, and you guys see when I'm flipping across to Michael's and to Seth's, for a long time I had coach underneath there, and it was a highlighted link, and I didn't know how to get rid of it. So there's certain, you can go into your Instagram profile and just make sure that you don't have too many lines here, because Seth, if I was going to criticize yours, the Seth Mosley, I love how pretentious we can get. I am the real Craig Ballantyne, and this is the Seth Mosley. But, sometimes you have to do that because somebody has your full name. So we go to Seth. Now, notice on my page, there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 lines, right? If you go on your phone, if you look at it, it probably says Song Chaser, Family God, Grammy, Dove-winning producer. And then it probably at some point before it says Money and Music Investors Group, Made in Music podcast, and founder of official FC Music, it probably says ... more. And what that means is you have too many lines here. So I would look to consolidate all of that. And then also there's a link there, but aside from me knowing there's a link there, I don't know why I should click on that link. So if I was to go back and rewrite Seth's, I would look at mine. Okay, I'm a mentor to millionaires. DM me to be my next millionaire client. I've coached 250 entrepreneurs to build 7-figure businesses. And we put up a podcast every week. So only 1 day per week do we have this. New podcast up today, Female Entrepreneurs' Secrets for a Successful Life and Business. Okay. But we tell them above the link why to click on the link. Now we go to Michael's page, right? And Michael has a YouTube link. Well, I don't understand, why would I click on the YouTube? And remember, all these people are on Instagram. They're coming over to Michael's profile. He wants them to do something because, you have an Instagram profile. Well, so therefore, does it make sense to send them to YouTube? Doesn't make sense. So that's something to consider. We'll go through everybody's profile here in a little bit more detail. But if people are on Instagram, it is probably their platform of choice. We want to keep them on Instagram. We want to get them into a conversation on Instagram that moves them ahead to doing something with us in our business. It's the whole point of it. This is not social media. This is business media. This is how I'm able to use this in a very little bit of time to grow a lot of revenue from my Instagram. So that's the way I'm approaching it. If you want to approach social media in a different way, by all means, go ahead. But I just want to share how I'm doing this. So it's very clear when you land on here that I'm doing some type of coaching for entrepreneurs. Very clear. Revenue. Okay. So then what we do now, when you have this opportunity to put highlights, I don't think these are that important. Because we kind of track. We get a lot of people sending me this, saying I want to be your next millionaire client. Okay, great. We got a lot of people doing that. That means it's working. We don't get a lot of people watching these highlights and then taking the actions that are in here. But if you are going to create any, notice how very few words or letters that you get here. So you really have to be a good copywriter. Okay, there's a picture of a giant dude here and me, and it says 7-figure underneath. I'm going to click on that because I want to know what's it's like Colossus from from Deadpool and Craig Valentine are in this video down here, and it says 7 figures. So I guess I'll click on it. It seems interesting. So you want to have good curiosity in it. I know some people will put those logos up, and I don't really buy into that whole logo thing. So if, like the same color scheme, and that I don't think is important. So let's go what's into more important is the actual posts that you put on Instagram. So these are the recent posts I put up. And you'll notice that little icon in the top right there, that indicates it's an Instagram TV video. Instagram TV, if you're going to make any video on Instagram, it should be an Instagram TV video. About a year ago, Instagram started pushing more distribution of their Instagram TV videos. I don't know if they want to compete with YouTube or what their, kind of diabolical plan is that Zuckerberg has for Instagram TV. But if you were to make a 1-minute video and put it on your main feed the way that you probably have done a video, or you were to make a 1.5-minute video of the same content and put it on your Instagram TV, you would likely get 3 times as many views if it's an Instagram TV video, for whatever reason. Whenever I put up a 1-minute-long video directly to my main feed, we hardly get any views. But with the Instagram TV, this one had 6,000. I don't get a lot of views on my little podcast snippets that we do. 1,000, we'll probably get up to 1,500 on that. Those things don't pull a lot. But this video I made where I'm walking through, this is actually a chopstick in that video. It's not a pointer, it's a chopstick. And I'm just walking through some of these worksheets that I have for coaching clients, and people love this. Okay, then I did this one the other day. We use an app called repurpose.io. So I'll show you that page, repurpose.io. That'll come up in a second. It's an app that you use, and so we create one video. We use this app, Repurpose. It's an easy automation platform that helps us put the content out on other platforms. So it's kind of like one video, multiple platforms. That's what you're looking for to create a film factory. So it also allows you to put these headlines on and the closed captioning underneath, because probably about 60 to 80% of people have the volume off when they're on your Instagram. So if you don't have any captioning on there, it'd be like, well, I can't turn this on because I'm in a meeting, I'm on a Zoom, all that sort of stuff, but I could read it kind of stealthily while I'm on a Zoom, but I can't listen to it while I'm on a Zoom. Otherwise they'll Joe from, CEO Joe will hear that and he'll kick me out of the Zoom group. So we use those things. We're putting up an Instagram TV video every single day. And these are generated like what's popular content for my audience. I'm only making content for my audience, and it's valuable content. It is purposeful. It moves them to like, oh, wow, he just taught me an interesting lesson. Therefore, he now has more credibility. He was kind of funny in that video. He really spoke to me in that video. I'm closer to hiring him. That's what every single piece of my content is put out to do. Chip away at people's resistance so they reach out to me. Now, I want to just show you something in case you haven't realized it, is look at how, and maybe I'm assuming things, but look at how each of these posts kind of manufactures a little bit of celebrity. All right, like this is the view from my condo here in Vancouver. I'm using a nice background. If you do informational videos, like if you're like, hey, let's talk about real estate investing and let's go through like, how much you need for a down payment and then, the cash flow you get on a monthly basis, and you're doing all these whiteboard videos and you do nothing but whiteboard videos. It's like having somebody watch the same episode of The Office. Like, there's a couple hundred episodes of The Office, but you don't get to watch all of the episodes once. You have to watch one of the episodes 18 times. Like, nobody's going to be down with that. So if your videos are just you and a giant talking head in front of a whiteboard, or just you and a giant talking head in a blank background, people aren't going to click on that to watch the video. So Val says, what was the app program? The app program, Val, is repurpose.io that we have been using. Facebook recently came out with something that has also been helpful in scheduling posts, and I think it's called Facebook Content Creator. It's had some glitches. We've scheduled some posts that didn't show up, but we are using Facebook Content Creator as well. So thanks for that question. I'll just type it in, repurpose.io down there.
Hey, Mike, do you remember the day that my second baby was due and we were closing on a house and we didn't know how we were going to close on it, and then somebody came to our house to help us close on it?
How could I forget?
It was a good day, and that was because of John and Laura Perry at Homeland Title.
I am telling you, they're both attorneys, and they're an authority when it comes to real estate law here in Tennessee. You can call them anytime. They're never going to charge you for a quick phone call regarding anything that you need to do, even estate planning they do. But really where they focus in is investment properties, regular primary residences, and anything to do with that. They'll go to your house to close them.
Yeah, so check them out, John and Laura Perry, and the reasons you just listed are why they are official sponsors of the Nashville Investors Podcast. They help many of our investors out, and they can help you out as well, too. So check them out, John and Laura Perry, HomelandTitleTN.com. That's HomelandTitleTN.com.
So think about all the assets that you have in your life. Do you have a great view? Do you have a cool gym in your house, a home gym? Do you have a park nearby? Do you have a really cool office set up? So if we go down to this next video down here, because again, if it's just a giant head, people will only be interested in a little bit. So I put that trade up there, the 5 traits of millionaires. We've been doing a few of these slideshows. This one didn't work that well. These are called carousel posts. So let me walk you through one of these. Carousel posts are essentially multiple pictures. Okay, so most people just put up one image, right? You just, like, this is just a one image one, but sorry, so most people put up one image here, and people will like or comment on it. But I found this guy, his name is Dave Tallis, and let me see, I'll go to Dave's page because it's worthwhile looking, because it actually kind of answers Norma's question there. Actually, let me show you this guy's page here. So this is a client of mine. I've been working, he's new to Instagram, and look at how he makes his videos, right? They're all just giant heads. And, no offense, but people aren't going to stick around for the giant head show all the time. They're just going to be like, he's just going to talk and I don't really care that much. So don't just do giant head videos. Now, so Norma asks, how do you attract followers? How do you attract more followers? I'm familiar with Facebook, but Instagram's new. So this guy is growing his followers very, very quickly. He has a course. I don't make any money recommending this course, but he does all of his posts use these carousel slideshows. So why on earth do these carousel slideshows work so well? And you're probably wondering, well, how the heck do you make these? You go to Fiverr.com, or you go to Upwork.com, or you go to freeup.net, and you find somebody around the world, generally it's going to be in Eastern Europe, who is going to make these beautiful things for like $10. $10 US, which to them is a lot of money. And that's the power of using websites like Fiverr, freeup.net, and Upwork.com. Okay, there are all these outsourced websites that if you go and you will have to do a little bit of searching, but you'll find graphic artists who will be able to create these beautiful pictures. Okay, so he's got these articles. I don't want to go through that one. So he teaches you how to grow your Instagram. So grow Instagram the fast and easy way. This is his pitch, and so he's just doing slides. Okay, so this is actually like he's saying don't do this in the end. But why does Instagram, or why is he growing so fast? It's because if you have a carousel slide, what am I doing here compared to how much time am I spending on this post compared to a one slide post? I'm spending 10 times as much time on Dave Tallis's posts. So Instagram rewards you for getting people to spend more time on your page. So his entire page is carousel posts. This is his shtick. This is his business. He won a coaching session with me, so I know how his business works. He's going to do pretty well. This is his whole shtick. It's not my shtick, but it's one way of doing it. So if you're a real estate investor and you want to teach real estate investing to somebody, you could go and make a carousel post on how to buy your first investment home. That would be the title slide. And then you would break down like the 7 rules you have to follow in order to buy your first home, and you would post that. And it would be super valuable, it'd be purposeful, and it'd be shareable. So you get a lot of shares on these, okay? So he's getting people to share these things because the quality of the content is so high. So that's one way to do it, Norma, is simply, like, there's really only 2 ways to grow your following on Instagram. One, post valuable, purposeful, shareable content. It doesn't matter if you do video or you do Instagram carousel slides. The other way is to get other people to tell their followers to go and follow you. That's it. There's no magic. It's really the hard and slow way, as Dave describes down here. Grow Insta the hard and slow way. Growing, like, unpopular opinion, growing on Instagram is not easy. It's anybody who says otherwise is a liar. You know, it's just, your growth will not magically happen overnight. I mean, hey, read books, share something daily, learn more, give more. Now, there is one thing that helped me grow a little faster. Well, 2 things. One, I had a big network. I was on a lot of podcasts. People would post on their pages about me being on their podcast, and they would send people to me. Another thing was that I had an email list, and I was able to tell my email list to go and join me on Instagram, but that only got me a couple hundred followers. Now, here's the thing is, so my friend Jason Capital, who has 1 million followers, he did a video today. I started getting all these followers. I'm like, where are they all coming from? And then I was like, oh, I wonder if Jason posted something. So yes, he did a presentation at my event. He's a master at social media. He puts up video every single day. And so he said, this is from my talk at Real Craig Ballantyne Perfect Life event. So now I got about 1,000 followers today because Jason used my profile name in one of his posts, and the kid has 1 million followers. He's got 65,000 views of that video, and a bunch of people came over to it. So that's not something you're going to be able to pull off overnight, obviously. You know, but it's my network, the people I've influenced, the stuff that I've done results in getting a lot of recommendations from other people. Okay, so he's just making these, like, you know, he follows my approach, which is put a lot of video up on Instagram, and you can see they're all Instagram TV videos, all Instagram TV videos. This is actually just a regular post, but 99% of his stuff is Instagram TV videos. So good question there on how to grow it. And that's one way. So we use it a little bit. We haven't mastered it. Yeah, no problem there. But most of the stuff that I'm doing is simply Instagram TV videos. You know, I called out my audience here. I wanted to talk to male entrepreneurs. I upset a bunch of female entrepreneurs, even though there's nothing in this content that a female entrepreneur couldn't use. I got a lot of interesting comments. So, you know, we're getting a bit, you know, this is a lesson from a business book. Great. What got me through my lowest lows? So I'm the type of, I had anxiety attacks back in 2006. They were really bad. I'm going to tell the world I went to the emergency room because I don't want it to happen to you. So I wrote a book about it. I make videos. Hey, when I was in the emergency room for my anxiety attacks, and then I went home and I had another anxiety attack, here are all the things that helped me overcome anxiety, and I want to teach you them. So I'm going to teach people. I've stood on stage and done this. People want to see that stuff. and they'll share it. But here, this is the video that I want to share with you, not just because it got a lot of views, but because I'm just going to talk about what's in the video, because it'll be very valuable to you, because you're probably going, oh my gosh, they're going to create all this content. How am I going to possibly do this? I'll explain it in a second. We make a factory out of it. But notice in this video, there's a guy in the background. What the heck is he doing? So first of all, people are going to watch the video because there's some curiosity in it. Second of all, the headline makes the video. How to make 30 days of content in 3 hours. I want to watch that video because I want to create a lot of content in a very short amount of time. We batch or block time to create our content. We make a list of the videos. Sometimes I have a videographer. Sometimes I just do it on my phone. I create all the content. I then give it to Caleb, who's 21 years old, who's on my team. He has, we have a Google document for when, the Instagram TV video is going to be posted on Monday. You can see this book package. We do a giveaway every Monday morning. Sometimes it's a free coaching call. Sometimes it's a free book giveaway. We get engagement on it. You see 88 comments, not a lot of likes on it. Whereas this one has 833 likes, but fewer comments. We're putting all types of content up there. It's all valuable, purposeful, and shareable. So we plan in advance. What are we going to film for the day? We go and do a whole bunch of filming all at once. And then I send it off to the guy who's going to post it. We've got a schedule for posting it, and he posts the right stuff at the right time. That's it in a nutshell. There's something else that I want to show you before I go and audit Seth and Michael's account, because I know I can really help Michael's account with some of the real estate stuff. But this very basic, boring text post in the middle is what generates a lot of money in my business. It's what I call a blunt post. I'll answer your question there in a second, Norma. So this is what I call a blunt post. And the reason I call it a blunt post is because it bluntly tells people how they can do business with me. A lot of people have Instagram accounts. A lot of people might have followers. But if I follow you and I follow even 100 other people, I might like your post, but I have no idea what you do. I have no idea how to do business with you. I have no idea, like, even if you're a real estate agent, do you specialize in family homes? Do you specialize in condos? I don't know how. I just don't know. So we put up these blunt posts because I find a lot of my coaching clients, a lot of coaches, entrepreneurs, personal trainers, they just aren't getting business from Instagram, but it's because they haven't bluntly told their audience how the audience can do business with them. So we put these up 2 to 3 times per week, and we put something like, I'm looking for 5 entrepreneurs who want to scale to 7 figures in 2020, because I'm a business coach. I do all this business planning for you. I coach you. I give you accountability. I'll personally mentor you to make more money and achieve financial freedom. DM me the word millionaire to see if you qualify. Okay. It doesn't say anything that this is free, etc. Some people might assume that. And then on the side in the description, it's something that will resonate with the business owner. And they go, okay, I'm going to send this guy a DM that says millionaire. Now let me show you what happens. So this gentleman here, J Pardue 34, responded to one of these blunt posts that said the word serious. So now we're in a conversation. And I'll explain how this can work in real estate. Okay, but now we're in a conversation, and I say, hey, Jason, because I looked at his profile. His name is Jason. Great to connect. Tell me more about your business goals and obstacles for this year. If I get 100 DMs, I send the same thing back to all 100 people. I just want to know the answer to this question. What are your business goals? What are your obstacles? Because then I can see if you're a good fit for me. If I'm a real estate investor, I might say I'm looking for 5 investors who want to invest in multifamily homes. I'll personally put together the deals and walk you through them. DM me investor to see if you're a good fit. And I would put that in plain text on my page, if that's why I was using social media. And then someone will send a message that says investor. You go, hey, Jason, great to connect. Tell me more about your real estate investment experience, goals, and obstacles, because you probably want to know, have they done any investing before? How sophisticated are they? And then they pour their hearts out here. So this guy says this. By the end of it, I know whether or not I can help him. And so I say almost the same thing to everybody. Perfect. I'm 100% confident that we can help, because I know that we can help this guy. And then I tell them to do this. The next step is email me at craig@godfather.com. We're in the conversation and the conversion is happening. So he emails me, we get him on a phone call, and he joined our coaching program, not with me, but with one of my assistant coaches. That's how my factory operates on Instagram. It goes from blunt post, conversation, we move them to a sales call, they become a coaching client. We do this all day long. That's my business. Now, again, if you're, let me show you one. Like, I know there's not any, I don't think there's any personal trainers on here, but let me just, I do want to actually go to this woman's. She uses very ugly blunt posts, but she gets, so this is a woman, coaching client of mine, 110 followers. She has gotten 15 personal training clients from 110 followers. She uses these really ugly posts. I'm looking for 5 serious women, et cetera, et cetera. Kathy, thanks for being here. You'll be able to see the recording. Anyway, she just posts this, and every week she gets a new client from it. So it works in many, many industries. All right, so now this is like how to use Instagram as quickly as possible. I can do another hour on how to create content. We don't have that time, but I think the most important thing for you when you're creating content is think about how your content can be different than everybody else in your industry. Okay, if you're saying the same things, if you're posting the same things, you're not going to have the breakthrough. You're going to not get a lot of followers, and you're probably going to say Instagram doesn't work. And that's okay. That's okay. But if you do it right, you can have some real breakthroughs. So I want to jump over to Michael's page. Now, I'm going to do this completely naively, not knowing what Michael does. And I'm, because a lot of people who land on Michael's page will not know what he does. So we land on here. He's got a cool photo. He looks like he likes to drive some trucks. He's got some nice hair, very nice. I had to get hair transplants, Michael, in order to have hair like you. I've had 2 hair transplants. Otherwise, I would have been bald, but I didn't want to. I wanted to have hair like you. You were my hair idol. So now I'm closer. But it's a good photo. Michael Gomez, broker. Okay, he's a broker. I don't know a broker of what. Let me keep on reading. So Michael Gomez, here it gets, okay, so I'm a multi-million-dollar award-winning real estate commercial residential broker in Nashville. That's a lot of text there. What could we say there that kind of gets to it a little bit faster? I don't know if the multi-million-dollar award-winning is really helpful. So it could be just award-winning real estate commercial residential broker in Nashville. I like to see things all on one line. The at Compass investor, I don't know what that means, but I do say there is a risk of you having at Compass there. Because if I go on here, if I just land on your profile, I am just, as somebody said, go check out Michael Gomez broker on Instagram, and I go here. Well, now I go, well, what's Compass? And I'm gone, and never to return again. Because now I'm on Compass, where it's the mission to help everyone find their place in the world. Oh, I don't even know what that means. But, oh, look at all the pretty pictures. Now I'm going to go to another person's Instagram. And again, I never go back to Michael Gomez's page. So I'm wary, unless there's an absolute really important reason to put at Compass in there, Michael, I wouldn't. Now, investor, father, husband, songwriter, that's pretty cool. Performer at Mike Ali. I don't even know, that didn't even link there for some reason. Oh, because you don't have a space between performer and at. So I don't know if that's a mistake. But again, oh, no, now I can click on it. No, I can't click on it. I can click on the at sign. What could I click on? Oh, now I'm on YouTube. So I clicked on your link below. So this, when I was clicking here, it took me to your YouTube. So performer at Mike Ali. I don't know if that is something I'd want to have in this profile if my whole goal of this profile was to get people to buy these houses, which I see down below. So again, now I go to the YouTube. What actually happens if I click on this YouTube? Remember, I'm leaving the page that you worked so hard for me to get to. Now I'm leaving and I'm going over to the YouTube page, and it's an introduction. Okay, so it's an introduction video. I still wouldn't put it there. I just wouldn't put it there because I want to keep you on Instagram. So I would probably have, this is the way I would write it. Because if you want to sell homes, I would say award-winning real estate broker in Nashville. Because commercial / residential, I think they'll get it from down below. And it's a lot of text. I just want to know that you're a real estate agent. What do you specialize in? Do you specialize in multifamily homes? Do you specialize in investment real estate? Do you just specialize in an area of Nashville? That would be good to know, because I don't know exactly what you do. Corey has a question. What if you're a serial entrepreneur? I'll get to that in a second, but Corey, in general, it's what's the main thing you want somebody to do? It's just like when you have a website, right? If you have a website, somebody lands on your website and you have 8 things in the title bar across the top. Well, the website was built for a purpose. What's the number one purpose that Instagram could help you with? You know, if you're a serial entrepreneur and you've got car washes and you've got investing and you've written a bunch of books, well, Instagram is probably going to be best for selling your books. And if you sell a bunch more books, then people will maybe invest in your car washes or something. So you have to get choosy, essentially, and figure out, what do I want people to do on my Instagram? That's what I want. So then we go to Michael's thing. He's got the house here. It's interesting. I learn a little bit about it from the picture. He's got multiple pictures, so he's got a slideshow here. And I don't know why, but you know how some people love food porn? I love kitchen porn. Like, I could just look at people's kitchens all day long. Living rooms, not so much, especially with that TV stand, but holy cow. I would look at I could dissect this kitchen for probably about 10 minutes and going, I don't like those stools. I'd rather have a darker, I don't know. I like it. So I'm glad you have all these photos. But imagine, Michael, if you did an Instagram TV video walkthrough of this house. And listen, you got personality. I heard you talking before, and you were talking about the home inspector and the raccoons. And you just take your phone, you hold it up, you go, hey, Michael Gomez here. We're at 1126 Cahal Street. This house, you gotta see the kitchen in this house. Let's take a tour. I'm gonna walk you through. There's a couple of things that I'm like, okay, actually I would say that. I wanna walk you through it. You gotta see the kitchen. Wait till you see the family room. This place, if you are looking for, for your young family, this is perfect for you, okay? Let's go take this tour now. And you have that charm, right? Like, you are really great. Now take me through a walkthrough. Show me the view from the balcony in 2 to 3 minutes. Man, you could have a lot of fun with an Instagram TV. And I think that moves a lot more people closer to doing business with you. So I really encourage you to do some virtual tours. But, so this one, well, now you got the house side by side here. This is the one you want to keep up there. Then you got this one again. It's another carousel. Wow, look at that kitchen. I'm gonna have to come back to this post, Michael. That's nice. That's a nice kitchen. All right. I don't care about people's bedrooms, bathrooms neither. But okay, so this is beautiful. Again, imagine you were able to do a video of that. That would be great. Norma says, would you want to edit the tour down to 1 or 2 minutes? I would probably have a couple versions. I'd have a longer version than I would. I would either film a shorter version of just a couple of things that you want to check people. You could do a 1.5-minute long version to just really get people excited to come to the open house showing. Like, hey, this is Michael Gomez here. I'm going to give you a 1.5-minute tour of this place. I can't do it all, obviously. It would take an hour, but come down to the open house Saturday afternoon because you got to see this kitchen. It's absolutely amazing. It is the best kitchen in West Nashville, and so on and so forth. Instagram TV, a one-take shot. Can you do a stop and start video? John asks. You can, but someone would have to edit it. I have, if you've ever heard of the 10,000 hour rule, I'm a 10,000 hour rule guy. If you go back and look at my videos that I put on YouTube in 2007, I was a boring, monotone robot, really, really bad. But I wanted to get better at it. So I've been interviewed on 400 podcasts. I've done thousands of hours of YouTube videos, and I've gotten to the point where I could make an Instagram video about this house, not being a real estate agent, that would be really, really awesome, all in one take. Now, the camera work might be unsteady, but I could do it in one take. If you want to do it, then just do a couple of videos. If you got a teenage kid, get them to stitch the video together. Or if you have somebody in your team who can put it together. So obviously you want it to be good. You don't want to ramble on, so you might want to cut some rambling out. Ideally though, in a perfect world, it's a 1.5-minute video where you get people hyped up. It's one take, you put the phone away, and you're on to the next one. So you want to become a machine. I don't even know how to do start and stop video. All I know is how to hit it once and then hit the end with the call to action at the end. So good questions. Ideally, you'd want to have professional video, but we are doing this. A lot of us are doing this on our own. So he's got an Instagram video here, which is looks like it's part of your YouTube video. This stuff here, it's kind of like, you got a good response, so I'll leave that there. But it's we want to think about the end user most of the time. So this one, 74 likes because it kind of is a little out of place, but it's your mom. Okay, so it's a mom's picture, but it would be great if it was a picture of you and your mom, maybe a short video of you and your mom. Good stuff, though. Some of the stuff I like to say belongs in stories. And stories, like, again, we want to use that main feed where it's really good stuff. It's going to make people stop. And so this one, like, maybe if you're going to post the carousel, it's like the kitchen. Like, what's the showstopper in this house? And maybe that is the cover slide. And then you have a little bit of text on there. I don't make these. So these slideshows, these things here, they're made in an app called Canva. Canva is very easy to use. I don't use it myself because I'm fortunate where I do have a social media team. They make it, but anybody can use it. It's one of the most popular apps in the world. And it's popular because it's easy to use and allows you to make really beautiful images. Like, this isn't a beautiful image, but it's a decent image, and it's made in Canva. This is made in Canva. This is made in Canva. And so you could take that picture of the house and put some text on it, and all of a sudden it becomes more useful to the end user. So good question there. Norma says, does your 21-year-old help or manually post this, or does Google post for you? Good question. So there's a bunch of apps out there that allow you to post things later. One of them is actually called Later. Another one's called Planoly. You can post pictures. You could set up your Instagram right now for the next week if they were just pictures, and it would post stuff up there. So there are apps that allow you to post stuff. Just make sure it is an Instagram partner app, because there's some apps that are out there that are not Instagram partners. Planoly is an Instagram partner, so it's like the safest one to use. And then Facebook has their content creator one, which obviously is approved because Facebook owns Instagram. So you do not have to post it manually. Okay, so I think that kind of covers everything here for Michael's. I think we just tidy up that profile. So I'd probably put your phone number in there if you want people to phone you to do some deals with you, or your email address or whatever it is, the easiest way, or simply say interested in buying a home in Nashville, a family home, or interested in moving to Nashville, or interested in homes in North Nashville or South Nashville or downtown Nashville. Send me a DM if you're interested in homes in this area, if you specialize in it. And then people will start sending you more messages. And then you get them in the conversation and you can move them to either a coffee meeting or a real estate, an open house or whatever it is that you want. Okay, so the one thing what I would do, Michael, is I would look at a bunch of real estate brokers in Nashville and then a bunch of real estate brokers on Instagram that have large followings, and just see what seems to be working from them, audit their accounts, and then apply some of those things to you.
Nobody wants to make that phone call. A tree fell in the middle of your house on top of the roof, and now you got to call your homeowner's insurance company. Now, I don't have anything to be worried about because my homeowner insurance is with Eric Stewart with Erie Insurance.
Eric Stewart not only is an amazing businessman, but he also happens to be my neighbor, so I know he's a great person. Me and Michael always insist on eating our own cooking. We're never going to recommend something that we don't personally use. We both use Eric Stewart, and his customer service is amazing, and he will beat any price from any other insurance agency, and we all need it as investors. We need the insurance in case those things happen. So check him out at ericinsures.com. That's Eric Stewart at ericinsures.com.
Now, if we go over to Seth's profile, the most important thing, it depends on what you want people to do here, Seth. If you want them to go to Made It in Music, which takes them to your podcast, then, here I would put Seth Mosley, family man, could be family, God, family, business, that order. I don't know. I'm just trying to get these things all on one line so that you don't use that real estate, because again, it probably doesn't show you Made in Music podcast. So, but if you have that link, you'll want to have, want to make it in music, listen to our latest podcast, and then the little arrows pointing down. And then we go into.
Can I ask you a question really
quick?
So I am very self-admittedly social media stupid, and
sure.
You know my my business probably more than a lot of people do, and I guess I would kind of add piggyback. This goes a little bit with what Corey Beale's question is that there's several things that I do. I'm a songwriter. I don't necessarily get my quote songwriting business from Instagram.
Sure.
I have an academy that does teaching content for musicians and songwriters. Obviously, we have Music&Money Investors Group. We have our publishing company that's under Full Circle Music, and I'm of course producing records as well. So the podcast obviously is a piece of that. Would you recommend using something like a Linktree in this case, or
that's a good question, because I hate Linktree. So here's the thing: is you have these followers on here, and it's really like, what do you think those 10,000 followers consist of? Like, who are those people?
I mean, the most engaged content have lately been these carousel posts with songwriting tips.
Okay. So if I were you,
it's either that or it's, I've gone to the Grammys and it's me and my wife,
sure,
at the Grammys on the red carpet or whatever.
So if I were you, it would suggest to me that I narrow down the usage of my Instagram to drive traffic to your podcast, the Made in Music, and to the webinar for the Academy. Because if people are following you, they're following you maybe because they're songwriters, they want to become songwriters, they want to be successful like you. So the question, instead of, you can look at it two ways. How should I use my Instagram? If you've got a following, well, figure out why people are following you. If all of these people were following you were just end users, then you would only put stuff up that drives them to go and listen to songs so you can make a little money on Spotify. But if they were end users and had no intention of making it in music or doing the songwriting academy, then it wouldn't make sense. Here's your audience that's only interested in your actual songs and not your academy. Then posting about the academy would be falling on deaf ears. But since it seems to be the opposite, that a lot of people in here, probably they're interested in your music, but they're also interested in becoming songwriters. Therefore, talking about becoming a songwriter, talking about the academy, talking about your podcast is where I would put almost all of my energy. So it makes sense for you there to base it on what do your 10,000 followers want from you. Plus, it's a good use of your Instagram and your time to drive people back to the Songwriting Academy, which is doing well. Otherwise, if you were starting from scratch with 0 followers, then you can determine the path. And you go back to the same sort of things I said to Corey. You've got multiple businesses. Which one of those businesses seems most appropriate for the Instagram audience? And I've seen people sell all types of things. I've had clients use my Instagram methods to sell diamond rings. I've had a lot of clients use it to sell coaching programs or gym memberships, that sort of stuff, books, info courses. Those are pretty clear paths for the use of Instagram. Restaurant owners driving traffic back to, nowadays takeout, reopening of your restaurant, that sort of stuff. It's a good fit for. But if you're like, you're trying to get, I have a client who has a car wash franchise. You're probably not going to get a lot of people contacting you to buy a car wash franchise. You're probably better off writing a book and then getting people into the book. And, once they read the book, they learn that you're a car wash franchise owner. And then, maybe they're hardcore enough that they want to contact you for a franchise, or they want to get coaching from you, which is another thing he does. So you really have to figure out what would be, of all my vehicles, what's the best vehicle to showcase on Instagram? Because, the target audience, the content matches the platform, that sort of stuff. And then you might use LinkedIn for an entirely different business. I got a car wash franchise. I'm going to make content over on LinkedIn about car wash franchises and the great opportunities of owning a franchise and so on and so forth. Even if you have a current job, here's how you can grow a second income. That makes sense on LinkedIn, a little less so on Instagram.
Yeah, that's good. Good.
Yeah.
Good. Very
So
good.
I think that's actually a good place for me to talk a little bit about how we repurpose the content. So I now make most of my Instagram TV videos originally for LinkedIn. So I have a team that runs LinkedIn outreach for me. They send me the content ideas. They send me, hey, Craig, here are the 5 topics we want for next week. It's like, the number 1 productivity hack that allowed me to double my income. The 5 ways to generate more content on social media. The number 1 way that how to work 10 hours less in a week. We want videos on this. Like, okay, great. So I go and make a 3-minute video, either from my balcony or in my gym or when I'm out for a walk or down at the park. So I make those videos. I send them to Caleb via Dropbox. Caleb is my social media manager. He puts all the titles and everything on them. He gives them to the LinkedIn guys and they post it on LinkedIn. But we also use the same video on Instagram TV and we use the same video on Facebook. So we're using that video in 3 different places. We don't use the same video on TikTok. We just make 15-second videos for TikTok. And we don't use the same videos on YouTube. YouTube is a different animal. YouTube wants to be a competitor of television, and Netflix, not a competitor of Instagram or Facebook. So YouTube is more of a TV platform. So what that means is YouTube is going to reward longer video, keeps them on the platform longer, and it's going to reward higher quality video. I don't put anything on YouTube with my phone. It's all videographer, professional camera. We do 10 YouTube videos in a day, and we post those 10 videos spaced out over the month. So we don't do the same videos for YouTube, but we do use the same videos for LinkedIn, Instagram, and Facebook. And that's how our little factory works. So I just wanted to mention that because I kind of alluded to it earlier.
So good.
Yeah, so Norma says, I thought social media should have a mix of personal and business. I think the most important thing is your personal post for your social media, does it help you grow your business? And if it doesn't, then is it worth the time? You know, if it takes you 5 minutes to put a post up on Instagram, is it worth that 5 minutes? You know, could you use that 5 minutes in a better use of your time, reading a book to your kids or meditating or exercising? We should only post if it's valuable, purposeful, and shareable. Again, I only use social media as a business thing. If you're using your personal Facebook page to keep in touch with your nephews in Australia, well then, yeah, you're going to put some personal stuff there. But most of the time, I put a little bit of personal stuff. You know, like here, there's a picture of my mom within business content. So they see personal stuff. I do videos where my girlfriend is in the video. Won't show up on here right now. I don't have any. But, you know, sometimes I'll just put a picture of me, my dog, and my girlfriend up. But it is like 1 out of every 10 posts because it's good for people to see. You know, I'm in a relationship. I've got a nice view. I've got a dog. Oh, he must be a nice guy. He's got a girlfriend and a dog. Okay, I just want to make sure he's not working all the time and he's got no life. That's good to see, but it's not in there a lot. But that's my business. My business, I'm known as a no-nonsense guy who creates this content to help people grow their businesses. Well, that's my channel. Like, you don't go to NBC on a Thursday night between 8 and 10. Well, like, you know, way back when I was a kid, like 8 till 10 on a Thursday night, it was funny shows. You don't go to NBC on a Thursday night for a scientific documentary. That's just not how it works here, you know? So you don't go to National Geographic's channel for Seinfeld episodes. That's not what we do here. So this is what I do here, and it's customized to my approach to my business. So I then give you all of this information for you to decide how you will use it for yourself in a way that is congruent with your personality, with your business, with your authenticity, your vulnerability, however, you know, how you want to be seen in the world. These are the tools. Now you go and apply them in your little tool shed. Great question, so.
Awesome.
Yeah, I could talk about this for 10 more hours, but I'm sure.
Yeah, no, it's great, man. It's awesome. Well, yeah, I think this is a great point to put a little bit of a bookmark. Obviously, if anybody has any questions, now would be the time to ask them. I know I've got a ton. Michael, I'm sure you've got quite a few follow-ups as well. Definitely having the audit is very, very helpful. And really, for me, the biggest takeaway is just narrowing it down. Because, yeah, if it weren't for, you know, the business side of things, I don't know that I would be all that interested in being on social media. It's kind of a it's a time suck, and again, it's built to be a time suck. So we have to be very careful with it. Now, there is a question from Maze down here.
And she's, I believe it, Maze, I hopefully I'm getting the gender right here. What is the best way to keep male followers when they want to date you or are very aggressive with their messages? I get it. I totally understand it. And you just block these people. I block people all day long. People that are, whether they send negative messages or whether they're spamming me with stuff, I just block people a lot because you know what? I'm not here to be harassed, or I'm not here to entertain your MLM. I have a lot of so that Jason Capital guy that sent me a lot of traffic today, he has a lot of followers who are 17 years old and from Asia and Southeast Asia. And these guys will ask you for money all day long. They'll be like, hey, I don't have any money. Will you send me some money? I'm like, I'm going to block you. Like, I'm not obviously sending you any money because you didn't do anything. So I'm going to block that. So I just tell you that person to block. Should we, Perry the Mayor, that's really great. Well, you just manufactured some celebrity there, Perry, by calling yourself the mayor. I'm already like I'm speaking to royalty here.
Perry actually is the mayor of a town outside of Nashville. So.
Well, there you go. There you go. I feel like I'm in the presence of royalty here. So Perry, it's a great question. Manufacturing celebrity and elevating status. So the way that I use this is the analogy, and you being a mayor is great. Imagine I'm in your town, and you and I, it's the grand reopening of the restaurants in your town, and you and I both show up at 7 o'clock for the last table. And we walk in almost the same time, and you say, no, you go ahead, and I say, no, you go ahead, and like eventually one of us goes inside. And we say we're here for a table of two. And, the guy sees you behind me, and he goes, oh, there's the mayor of the town, and he's clearly here for a table of two. And there's only one table of two left. Who will get the table of two? You will, because you're the celebrity. So we want to manufacture celebrity on social media, because at the end of the day, if everything else is equal, who will you do business with? Well, you're going to do business with the person who has more celebrity. Now, manufacturing celebrity is easy. Making video already sets you apart from 90%, maybe even 95% of people on Instagram, because most people are scared to make video. It's like most people are deadly fearful of doing public speaking. And so anytime someone goes on stage at an event, we already look at them and we say, this person must be an expert because they are willing to stand up on stage and talk to us. Now, we don't know that they're, shaking in their shoes because they're terrified up there, but we have in our own head manufactured celebrity because of the way we've been raised, right? We went to church, and the guy up on stage at church, he's the celebrity, he's the know-all. And that's the way we've been raised in all our, the person on television, the person who makes a video. It's almost like we subconsciously associate anybody who makes a video with TV star. Even if the video is bad, we somehow say, well, they must be a celebrity. And I say this because, my girlfriend recently started using Instagram for business. And I'm going to show up her profile here right now. 730 followers. She posts every single day. She makes some videos. And she has started to get these messages that say, wow, you're killing it on Instagram. And who are the people sending this message? It's people who have never made a video, who rarely post. And so simply by posting consistently, making video, and delivering valuable content, people think that you are a celebrity in a little way. And then like everything in the world these days is like you're a celebrity, but like a micro niche celebrity. Like you're like, you used to be on the D list, there's the A list, the B list, the C, like I'm on like the Q list, right? Like that's how much of a celebrity I am. I'm on Q list. Like I'm not even on the B list, I'm on the Q list. But every single time I make a video and sometimes they hit, well, now I'm kind of a little bit more of a celebrity. And then I'm a little bit more of a celebrity. And so we're working our way up the chain. So you manufacture it by creating great content, doing videos. If you take a look at Michelle's post, she bought this $20 package, that presets package that allows you to make, like, run these filters on your photos where it's just a regular photo, but it looks even more impressive. And these are all like photos taken by me, right? And so she looks like a model here. And so she's made people think that she's a celebrity, even though she's not. So you can do it anytime you're on a podcast. You need to tell people about it. If you're on TV in Nashville or Franklin or in your town, or you're on the radio, you publicize it, and essentially you're your own PR. So that's how you do it. And then again, why do you do it? It's because at the end of the day, we want to do business with people that we hold in higher regard. And for whatever reason, we are conditioned to hold celebrities in higher regard. Like we go to celebrities for their opinions on things, even if they may not be an expert, just because, well, they're a celebrity, I want to know. I mean, it's not rational, but that's the way it works. And we'll use those rules to our advantage. Michael says, should we keep biz and family totally separate on IG? And I would say generally that's my whole shtick on Instagram, is that I'm this hardcore guy. I'm going to help you get more done. I'm going to help you make more money. And then once every while, I will show you an insight. I'm trying to find a picture to see if Michelle and I have a picture of us on her Instagram. Yeah, there we are. So, so I'm not on her page a lot, but you guys were probably wondering, like, is this really this guy's girlfriend? Like, did he just make this up, like that Seinfeld episode with George in the picture? No, like this actually is me and my girlfriend. So, but most of her pictures are about fashion. They're about fashion tips. And then once in a while, she threw a pity picture of me on her Instagram. She put a picture of our dog up there, up here. But again, we're just not going to put a lot of family stuff. But it is important, because what you're trying to do, Michael, is you're trying to get people to connect with you. And so if you're, when we get to travel again, I make a lot of content traveling, because, it's like, you're in my city, or, you have a dog, I have a dog too. Therefore, we have something in common. I'm more likely to do business with you. It is helpful to get that personal touch in there. And if you can make a personal post helpful to your business, that's where you're really doing well.
Awesome. So good. Take time for a couple more questions if we've got any on there. Craig, so appreciate your time. And I do just want to, if anybody else has any last minute questions, I just want to brag on Craig and just say how much I have gotten out of working with Craig as my coach. And so, yeah, if people are interested in, working with you further, whether it's engaging in your Instagram course, or working with your company on coaching, where's the best place for people to contact you at?
I think the best place is right through the Instagram direct message. I answer all my direct messages, so that'll be great. That's really cool. And then also, I've got a book. I just put the link to the book in the chat down there. It says Perfect Week Formula. That's my newest book. And then if anybody ever wants to email me, I answer all my emails as well. I like email. I'm a fast typer, so I can give you good advice in a very short amount of time. My email is craig@godfather.com. It's down there in the chat. So that'd be a good place to connect with me. And then, if you're gonna shoot me a message, you may as well just tell me what your business goals and obstacles are, and just we can move that conversation ahead. But I love problem solving, and I'd love to help you out there. Oh, and I also do have the Instagram course. We call it the Instagram Sales System.com. So if you want to do a deep dive into what we do, you can join me there.
Yeah, I love it. This is obviously just a tip of the iceberg with that, and I can definitely vouch for the quality of this course. For many of you guys, this will be a great next step. Go check that out. And looks like, Pam Val Hill, where have the answers to our question been posted? I'm not sure we saw a question from you, Val. If you do have a question, just post it in the chat. And as we got just a couple more minutes as we're wrapping up, I'm sure Craig will be happy to take maybe one or two more.
Well, Mace has a good question here. What are the best words or phrases to say along with the post? So if we go, so this is Michelle's thing. She's a beauty and fashion consultant. One of her most popular posts was this one down here, where she talks about her five magic morning potions, you know, like coffee and bulletproof coffee and all that stuff. So it's good content in this caption is one way of doing things. Another thing, my friend Bedros Koulian is really great. He's my business partner in a couple of ventures, and he does a lot of really good kind of listicle posts. So I'm trying to see, maybe here. Nope, not that one. Maybe this one. So like he has some really motivating stuff in here, like attack every hill. So he's got a Twitter post there. I know he had another one let's see if it's here. Nope. But motivational stuff tends to work. Maze, it depends on really what your audience is. Oh, maybe it's here. Average is the enemy. You know, just stuff that like will get people fired up. This is like, you know, kind of his principles. So he does a lot of these things. Or sometimes he's done like 11 things people don't know about me. He does a lot of Instagram TV video stuff as well. And so it really depends on what your audience is. It really depends on what your audience is, Maze. Is, you know, the best words or phrases to go along with the post. I do a lot of motivational stuff. I do a lot of morning routine stuff. I have books on morning routine. People come to me for that type of advice. So if you think about what do people come to you for in your business, or if you have followers already, why are they following you? You know, you be the voice for them. I show up every morning with a post because I'm the morning routine guy. I'm going to give you no BS, no nonsense advice. And in my posts, I'm either going to motivate you or I'm just going to give you straight up knowledge. I'm not going to try and be funny. I'm not that funny. And so I'm not going to write a funny caption. Once in like 20 posts I will, or 50 posts. But most of the time I'm showing up. I want to give value to you, so there's value in my posts. So Val, all my questions have been answered in all the questions that I've got. I've just read the question out and then answered them just in talking through it. John Scholl says, how useful are hashtags? If we were having this conversation in 2016, 2017, John, I would say they were really, really helpful. This day, I mean, now there's far more people using Instagram, far more people using hashtags. You certainly, like if you were trying to use, if you're a real estate broker, I wouldn't use like real estate as a hashtag. It's just too big, too broad. But if you're a real estate broker in West Nashville, I would say real estate West Nashville as a hashtag. For example, recently I've started using the hashtag Vancouver Entrepreneurs because, you know, when people start having events again, I'm happy to speak at entrepreneurial events in the Vancouver area. And we've started getting a lot more leads from Vancouver entrepreneurs because I'm showing up for that hashtag, because it's not like micro niche, but it's niche enough, right? So if you're going to use hashtags, you do have to do the work and drill down quite a bit. Oh, Val, I'm going to type the app. It's repurpose.io. So you should see it right there. Train went by. Yeah, so repurpose.io, I can show you again the page here. Pretty simple to use. We have lots of our clients using it, and it's easy to use, as it says. So that'll be helpful to you. So there you go, Seth.
Awesome. Very cool. Well, everybody, virtual hand clap from wherever you're at for Craig Ballantyne. This has been absolutely amazing. My mind is blown. I definitely think this lived up to our rule of we all learn something new that we did not know when we wake up this morning. So
there you go.
Really appreciate your time. Again, people can check Craig out. He's at craig@godfather.com. His book is at perfectweekformula.com. And if you're interested in diving deeper into the Instagram sales system via his course, he's at igsalessystem.com. I will repost all those links here in the chat. But Craig, thank you so much for making the time to be with us tonight.
No problem. Hopefully one day when they let Canadians back into America, I'll be able to come down to Nashville and talk to you guys. Maybe we'll do Perfect Week Formula or something the next time. But
I love it.
Great chatting to you, my man.
Very cool. Well, thanks for being on, my friend. And Michael and the rest of everybody at Music and Money Investors Group, we will see you next time. Make sure you're on our text list so you don't miss out on any of the events we're doing virtually or in person when they happen again. So
what do we have?
Appreciate y'all being here. Go ahead, Michael.
What do we have next month?
We have a surprise guest.
Yes, I love surprises.
Surprise guest. You will be finding out quite soon. So it's going to be good. Hey, thanks for making time tonight. Love you all. Blessings to your families.
Stay safe.
See ya.
Hey, thanks for learning with us today on the show.
We would love to meet you at one of our free monthly meetups in Middle Tennessee.
Hit the thumbs up button if you like the content. Make sure you hit subscribe so you don't miss a thing on this channel.
Check out another awesome investing video here.